Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusalya to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
Alright everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya. The boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
I'm sorry?
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusalya broke up Dakan Al Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
Oh.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
Yeah.
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood.
That's why
the
Dakan Al Ahmar just went on a killing spree against Deshret's Relics mercenary groups. It was because Kusalya died. Well, that explains things from the power struggle. I was gonna say, because that's like the last thing we're missing. Now I know why, it's revenge. So that's what they turned into each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya.
So that means Deshret's Relics was the true
maintained
inner evil
order
all along.
internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
And Dehya was blackmail material for Kusalya. So you mean Kusalya thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
And for a good reason too.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
It was because he was consistently being beaten up.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this.
That was because he was acting
And I've
strong
never
in front
seen
of
him
you
get injured
to
or
protect
beaten.
you.
Because
Dehya.
you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since
That was
Dakan
when he was
Al
gonna
Ahmar
die.
would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Dakan Al Ahmar became
And that's when they
revenge.
started acting up.
The big fire that boss started
That
was
means the
quite a
letter that
blow
was
to
sent to him was also not
headquarters
sent by
It's given us the opportunity to
Kusalya,
launch
but it
our
was sent by
attack.
one of them,
Even though we're outnumbered,
using Kusalya's
we
name.
vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food
And that came from the Homayamis, obviously.
Explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many
So the center of it all was
battles.
Deshret's relics. That's the center of it all.
Relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
So it's not even a power struggle to gain leadership of Deshret's relics or anything like that. It was just pure revenge. Because the moment Kusalya died, that's when they started acting up, but they needed more tools and more resources, which is why they asked all of Kusalya's original friends, the Humayanis, or even that one member of the Core 30, to basically just supply them. So basically, it was just a revenge quest. And the reason why Dehya wasn't aware of all this was because, obviously, her father didn't want her to get involved in all this. He didn't want her to live the dangerous mercenary life. He didn't want her to live the dangerous desert life. And Dehya was just completely unaware of that. Responding violence with more violence will only cause more pain.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations
It's all about
get so
perspective,
bad
again.
that it's difficult to tell good from evil.
Good, evil.
All I know is that
doesn't matter
Deshret's
anymore.
relics must be destroyed. Furthermore,
all about
I
perspective.
want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can
Are
do
you
this
kidding?
on my own.
I'm on your side, Dehya.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
So Dehya's father was really a good person deep inside. He was just chained by Deshret's relics. Damn, that is incredibly messed up. Also, the use of these terms really just adds more sus to the overall like story of Genshin. Good and evil, there is no such thing. It's all based on perspective. Acting out part of a play. Like, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but seriously, the use of these terms really just build up to the original, like, the main story of Genshin.
Sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
I could just opt Ninja Traveler, but nah. Let's challenge ourselves here.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
This is what we saw in the
They should all
trailer.
be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I've fought through many situations like this before.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Yo, we're actually gonna have playable we're actually gonna have NPCs fighting alongside us in a legit quest rather than just a world quest.
Happy to oblige.
You are not welcome here. Disappear.
I'm gonna show Dehya just Dehya's ult canceling because I think it's kind of funny,
Worthless.
even though it is a huge problem.
Look alive!
Useless.
You asked for it.
Yeah, her ult just canceled like that.
Buckle up.
Now I'm pretty sure you had no reason to jump while she's ulting, but
Crush.
yeah, it kind of sucks.
Look alive.
So I'm pretty sure like the main point of Dehya's gameplay is just power application, and that's really it, which sucks.
Time to go.
Buckle up. You're dead meat.
Yeah, and but yeah, pressing E actually makes her ult goes a lot faster and more damage as
This
well.
way, follow me. We're almost there.
And consuming that firing sanctum also increase that damage output even more. So the best case for Dehya is all just setting up her E
Charging ahead without checking for any traps.
and then using her right after.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Uh-oh.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Why are we just standing still when the
Let's check
trap
if there's
happened?
another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Interesting how they use an ancient ruin as their base. Let's raise it again. It should be saved here. Wait. Oh, it's changed color. There we go. Yeah, it's meant to be yellow.
Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core.
Useless.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Like this. And now we can lower this light here. And there we go.
Rack and ruin. Look alive. Hi. Gloves off.
Yeah, the damage part is not that good. She needs to be buffed.
Buckle up.
You haven't quiet, that's because I'm fighting. Usually I don't tend to talk when it comes to fighting unless I'm explaining characters. Because I'm usually just zoned into the fight.
Cross over.
Anyways.
Worthless. Worthless.
I'm trying to showcase Dehya as much as possible, but her cooldown is not helping me. Oh my god, what is this? What's this switch? What is this sorcery? Wait. It's just this, isn't it? And it's gonna target that middle one right there. This has to change color. That has to change color. And this has to change color again. And it's solved. Look at this giant arena that we saw in the trailer. And a giant chest in the middle.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Michelle.
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Is everyone else
Don't
dead?
waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run. Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the Relic's glory.